What's up, family? Sheesh, this is going to be a tough one to report, but I got to give it to you straight. I just read about a story coming out of California that's going viral for all the wrong reasons. The headlines say a woman's death was hidden for months, that her organs were taken without consent, and that the hospital urged the family to not look at her body. So, before we let our minds go too far emotionally, let's slow down and break this down responsibly. This video is going to do three things. Number one, I'm going to separate what's verified from what's just the allegations. Number two, I'm going to explain why stories like this hit Black families differently. And then three, I'm going to talk about what every family needs to know about organ donation, consent, and how to protect yourself in the healthcare system. So let's start off with the facts. Dignity Health, a major California health system, is facing a lawsuit from the family of a woman named Tanya Walker. And according to this lawsuit, she died back in November of 2023, but the family says they weren't notified of her death and that her death certificate wasn't completed for months. That part is documented. Regulators have also cited Dignity Health facilities before for deficiencies and how they manage remains and notify families. So that's real. Now let's talk about what's still alleged. The lawsuit claims Tanya Walker's organs were removed without consent. That claim has not yet been confirmed by the California Department of Public Health, by state investigators, or any independent medical authority so far. So there's been no official ruling or conclusion that illegal organ harvesting took place. So I don't want to report on that as fact. But I am going to say this. This lawsuit is serious, the concerns are real, and the emotional reaction in our community makes sense. Now, let's talk about why this story is triggering for so many Black families. Our mistrust of the medical system is not imaginary. It comes from history, from personal experiences, from unequal treatment, and from stories passed down in our own families. We fear dying alone. We fear not being believed. We fear our loved ones not being treated with dignity. And yes, many Black families fear organ donation because they believe it could affect how aggressively doctors try to save us. Those fears don't come out of nowhere. So let's move into the education that we actually need. And this is how organ donation works in the United States. Doctors treating you in an emergency are legally required to do everything they can to save your life, whether you're a donor or not. The teams that determine organ donation eligibility are completely separated from the teams that provide your care. So they're not even talking to each other. Consent for organ donation has to be documented, and families have the right to ask questions, request clarity, or simply just say no. Here's what every family should do. First, have a conversation with your loved one about what your wishes are. Organ donation, burial or cremation, power of attorney, and who speaks for you if you can't speak for yourself. Do not leave those decisions in an emergency. Put them in writing. Second, if a loved one is in the hospital, do not navigate it alone. Have somebody else around to listen, ask questions, and make sure the communication is clear. Third, keep copies of all important documents around. ID, insurance, power of attorney, emergency medical contacts. Keep them all in place so nobody's scrambling if a crisis happens. And finally, remember this. Stories like this, like the one coming out of California, strike fear because they tap into trauma our community has never fully healed from. But fear alone won't protect us. Knowledge will, preparation will, clear communication will, and understanding your rights will. So we're going to continue following this story as more facts come out. But in the meantime, share this video with someone you love because these conversations matter and your family deserves clarity, dignity, and truth. So as an organ donor myself, please know your rights, do the best for you and your family. And we're going to love you either way, but make sure you're on with the facts. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. Peace.